rebellion is the worst of political crimes, right? It was claimed in Britain by the early Stuarts, and it's also associated with the absolutism of Louis XIV of France. Right? So it say the doctrine that the kings derive their authority from God, right? Nobody, no authority over them, not from their subjects, right? The subjects didn't give them this power, from which it follows that rebellion is the worst of political crimes. It was claimed in Britain by the early Stuarts, and it's also associated with the absolutism of Louis XIV. Okay, let's see what this says right quick about it. All right, absolutism. So it's a divine right of a king of kings in European history, a political doctrine in defense of monarchical absolutism, which asserted that kings derived their authority from God and could not therefore be held accountable for their actions by any earthly authority, such as a parliament. Now, understanding that is very interesting because that's what the Bible says. So it's very ironic. Oh, okay, that's right. The pages can read and stuff, I guess. They didn't have the force and all that to hold nobody down. But the Bible says that exact thing, not to bow down to the kings and all that type of stuff and their gods and everything else. Isn't that ironic? Okay. So that means y'all need to watch out about that Lord stuff too. Let's see what else I want to open up. Absolutism. Okay. The acceptance or right absolutism. They said it. Make sure I said it right. I think I said yeah. They say the acceptance of a belief. Let me get closer. Let me be able to see. Too big. Nah. There you go. It said acceptance of, right? The acceptance of or belief, right? Either you accept it or even believe it, right? In absolute principles in political, philosophical, ethical, or theological matters. Understand now? Things that you accept or believe in absolute principles, like unchanging, right? In political, like the laws that we have, of course, they're interchangeable, but once you said it, they try to make it set. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Philosophical, like getting the meat out of it, not really going for all the fluff around it, the absolute principles of it, the content. Ethical, I mean, when it says philosophical, another man thinking of it, but ethical, right? Basically, like dealing with righteousness and all that type of stuff. Or, it didn't say and for some reason. Yeah, it's the same thing. Or, theological matters. They're dealing with religion and all that type of stuff. So say you only want the absolute principles out of all these things. Okay. All right, all right. Let's see what we got next. Absolute principles. Let's see what that means right quick. It's smaller. It's a little small. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger though. All right. So it's too big. I'm not really rock with that. All right, let's go. It's a political theory that absolute power should be vested in one or more rulers, right? So absolute principles is what? A political theory, okay? It's something not solid, color of law, all that type of stuff, that absolute power should be vested, right? Should be put all into one or more rulers. It's a government by an absolute ruler or authority. Despotism, right? Advocacy of a rule by absolute standards or principles. Okay, like I'm saying, set laws basically, set laws, set an absolute standard or principle. Right? So you pretty much get that. Quick rundown on your on the Stuarts. The House of Stuart, originally Stuart, was a royal house of Scotland, England, so they know the England people too, Ireland, and later Great Britain. The Stuarts were monarchs of Britain and Ireland and its growing empire until the death of Queen Anne in 1714. Except for the period of the Commonwealth between 16 they say, yeah, except for the period of the Commonwealth between 1649 and 1660. Okay, that is gonna be enough for tonight. See that right there. Yeah, go back to the article. Let's see. All right, Divine Right of Kings.